Hello Mercedes friends! Let me show you today how to change fluid in the electronic automatic transmission which is on my 2002 SLK 230. And this is the parts which you get from Mercedes-Benz. You get 5 liters of the transmission fluid, you get pan gasket, and you get transmission fluid filter. This is what they sold me for this job, so let's go and start right now. I started with lifting the front of the vehicle and putting it on the jack stands. Without the jack stands supporting the car, never crawl underneath it because it might fall on you and crush you. The first step here will be drain fluid out of the transmission pan. This drain plug is located right here, as you can see, and it's a 5mm hex. So I will lose that. Bucket is in the good position to catch the fluid, so I can undo this drain plug bolt. And now you can perfectly see how the fluid is draining into the bucket. The transmission pan is being held by 6 bolts. To remove them, I will use Torx 30. And as you can see, I'm lowering the rear first, so I have control over the spills. Now I have all bolts off, I can carefully lower the pan. Here you can see the location of the filter. To remove the filter, we will just carefully pull it off from the body of transmission. There's no bolts holding it. And I already see a lot of microparticles on it, so I'm very happy we are changing it. Now I've got it all nice here. Gasket, filter and the pan. I will perfectly clean the pan, including the magnet which is catching small particles. Okay, I cleaned the pan, installed new gasket, I put back the magnet and even installed the drain plug. So let's go underneath the car. Now I'm ready to install the new filter. So that O-ring goes here, but pay attention, there is that little tab here, and that doesn't go just elsewhere. There is exact matching hole for it, so that's where it goes. I have to make sure I'm putting it correctly there. Just doesn't go where I want. That's the way to install it, and I'm ready to install the pan and make sure everything is perfectly clean, and here we go. After I hand tighten all the bolts, I'm ready to use my ratchet, and I will follow this sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I will follow this in small increments until all the bolts are nice and tight. It's time to reinstall this heat shield. And we are done working underneath the car. To prevent overfilling transmission, I will go ahead and measure how much fluid I removed from transmission. I've got out of this vehicle 3.5 liters. So it gives me exact amount of fluid which I will put in empty transmission before I will start up the engine. So I'm going to locate the filler tube, remove the red securing tab and its cap. Make sure you have the O-ring. I will install suitable funnel, and using Mercedes-Benz transmission fluid I will very slowly pour the fluid inside. Slowly, just to avoid the spills. I will remove the funnel, put the cap back, and I'm ready to start this vehicle. While the engine is running, I will go and look for possible leaks underneath the vehicle. Always make sure you are in the good ventilated area. Now to spread the oil evenly through transmission, I will step on the brakes and go through all the gears. And I will repeat that a couple of times. And now I'm ready for my first measurements. I will remove the cap on the transmission tube and use my service tool to measure the level of the transmission fluid while the engine is running. I reach the bottom and I pull it out. Excellent! The engine and transmission are still cold, and I can see on my dipstick that the level of transmission fluid is between these two for the cold. So that confirms I correctly measured the amount of fluid I removed and I added the right amount. I will install the cap on the tube and a securing red pin. I still will go and warm up the engine and transmission fluid and take more measurements, because these transmissions are extremely sensitive to the fluid quality and also the level. So I have to make sure it's perfect. The Mercedes-Benz technician, he will use computer to measure level at 80 degrees Celsius. That's what I learned from them. So it needs to be really precise. I generally don't recommend this service for people who are not experienced technician to do it by themselves, because you might run in many different problems after you did the service. You can have engine lights, you can have problems with shifting, you can actually lose entire transmission if it's not done correctly. So from those reasons I will consider this video only illustrative for you, to give you idea of what they do with your car when you give it for a service. But I don't recommend do this service for people who are not high skilled and certified technicians. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Stay tuned, more videos are coming soon, and have a wonderful day.